One, two, 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 two. Public service announcement for all the people out there listening to this funky ass boom bap. Check it out.
What's up, guys? It's your man 50 grand with the plan who doesn't have a tan. It's your man Richie Rich back for good in Toronto, Canada, and it feels good to be back. So I want to welcome you to another edition of and reactions. Before we get to what this video is, really thankful for everyone who stay tuned to my videos, who subscribed, who is liked, who shared. Kudos to all of you, Lord. Be sure to keep on liking these videos. There's more content on the way. Just took a break. I had one of the best summer vacations, going from Toronto, Canada, all the way to Europe. Was able to see friends, was able to see family, that type of jazz. But now we are back. So on this video, for this interview that was done on Comedy Hype, it's very similar lines to what I do, because my goal, especially on this channel, is to again bring the nostalgia and the good times, no pun intended, the good times for late 80s and 90s, even the early 2000s. Those like moments in movies and TV series from our background, our people. It's really great to put it on the goal of my channel. So in this video, Christopher B. Duncan does an hour-long interview with Comedy Hype. Christopher B. Duncan, who played Braxton, who was similar to the Alfonso Ribeiro's Carlton character in Fresh Prince. They were rivals to the main protagonist. Instead of Will in the Fresh Prince, it's actually Jamie Foxx, and both were like kind of stuck up. They followed the system and very, you could say that they were whitish. They spoke white, had like the white vernacular, and yeah, they just weren't as like down as like the other castmates, the other brothers in this series. This one, which is a very interesting topic, which I've actually made 2 videos on this now, but not into detail. This interview with Comedy Hype, Christopher B. Duncan asked the question of like, how was it as again black guy but not Braxton, how was the experience of dating his co-star Susan Wood, which is a pretty white girl who's Braxton's girlfriend in the Jamie Foxx Show, and how was it like dating outside the race? We're gonna go there. Racial relationships.
The role brought me. I met my wife on the show.
Right, she was your girlfriend.
She played, a lot of people, you know, it's interesting. A lot of people don't realize this, but my wife, Susan, she played Cameron on the Jamie Foxx Show. She was what they call the GPS gal, which was a takeoff on the, what is it, the, not the GP, with the
So yeah, as Christopher B. Duncan is explaining, is Susan Wood, still currently his wife. She played a recurring role as Braxton's girlfriend. At the start, they were just like, they were always like teasing each other, like you like me, you don't like me. But later on, later on, I believe it's the end of the season 5, towards the end, like Christopher B. Duncan Braxton explains his feelings about how he feels to Cameron in that Susan Wood, and you can see it. And like I said, even though Jamie Foxx Show, the show wrote and Jamie and Fancy's relationship got some debates, and Jamie Foxx, that kind of dynamic, it was nice to see Braxton get his kind of recurring his girlfriend, because Braxton and Jamie were both trying to get Fancy. Jamie Foxx succeeded at the end, but it was really cool to see him get his kind of win, getting this pretty line. Let's continue.
When she and I met each other, so let me break it down for you really quickly. Producers come to me and they say, hey, we want to give Braxton a girlfriend in this next season. I said, cool, great. And they said, but we specifically want to make it an interracial relationship. How do you feel about that?
So as you can see, Braxton just said, they specifically wanted to make this an interracial relationship. Keep it in mind, folks, this was in Jamie Foxx Show was 1996 to 2001. So basically the 90s. At this time, it was still very heated, and you could say it was taboo for a black man to date a white woman. This is still off the tracks of the Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Gold murders committed by O.J. Simpson. I don't care what y'all say. I've watched all the documentaries. I've seen the series. I even went to Brentwood and saw the glove. O.J. did it. Okay, no one can tell me that. You understand? But it was still at this time not like what you see now, like with the Kardashians, and even if you check on Instagram and TikTok, is so encouraged for the black man to date the white woman. At this time, it was still very, very peculiar. Like if you thought people get looked now, it was nothing compared into the 90s. Okay, let's continue.
I said, my parents didn't raise me with blinders. Love is beautiful to me. I mean, in my dating life, I've been with sisters, white women, Latinas. I love and adore women.
It's very nice for him to say that, because a pretty woman is a pretty woman. Like, it doesn't matter what color they are. And honestly, even taking Christopher B. Duncan, talking about my experience as well, especially me going to Mexico, and even before that, I've always, not to really kiss and tell, but it's like I have an experience of dating like the rainbow. And honestly, yeah, and I just think it's a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman, and it can be green, yellow, orange, pink, it doesn't matter. So it's very cool for him to say that from a black man perspective, the correct way. Let's continue.
Period. So I said to them, love is beautiful to me. Let's do it. They bring in, again, they wanted it to specifically be interracial. So they bring in this group of white actresses, and several of them came in. I'm auditioning. The producers wanted me to be there. They wanted to see the chemistry. Bentley's there. The president of Warner Brothers at the time, he's in the room. All the bigwigs are all there. A few of the women come in. I read the scene in front of them. Susan comes in. She stops. She had this top that was cut right here. Her midriff was all exposed, and she had these like shorts with these fringes on the bottom of them, blonde hair, looking so damn sexy. And I sort of stopped in my tracks when she came in the room, and she did this. She went, oh, cute.
On their first interaction, like first time meeting each other, Susan Wood and Christopher B. Duncan, they already had that affection for each other. And I would like even put more pictures here in the edits as well. Like, she is the typical blonde, and at this time in the 90s, you had Pamela Anderson, who pretty much was the Kim Kardashian of the 90s, the blonde, blue eyes, not so much that thickness that you see then, but just that typical girl next door look. Let's continue.
That's what she said in front of everyone. And I said, well, look who's talking. And suddenly there was this Now I'm beside myself now, because the chemistry already, for sure. Right? She comes and sits next to me. Remember, I had read this scene 3 times before, right? With 3 women before she came in. So she sits down, and I say to the producers, I said, now, anyway, we're gonna read the same scene, right? Is that what we're doing? I'm babbling, trying to find my grounding. And I look over, and Bentley Kyle Evans is over there across the room, and this is all I see. He's laughing his ass off.
Oh, because you fumbling.
Oh, he can see the chemistry.
He's fumbling.
He can tell there's a crazy dynamic here. And he sees me, he's used to seeing me as this confident cat. And he sees me fumbling my words. It was crazy. So we do the scene, and again, crazy chemistry. The audition session is over, and Tony Jonas, the president of Warner Brothers at the time, he looks at me and he says, "So Chris, any of these women in particular that appealed to you more than any other?" I said, "Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Tony. Susan Wood?" And the whole room fell out. Because they knew. It's clear. It was blatantly clear. So Tony said, "Yeah, I thought you'd say that. I thought you'd say that." And I certainly feel...
This is a conversation that I've had like just in my own life. With you dating different races, currently being married to a white woman.
Yes.
Can you still be pro-black in an interracial relationship, particularly with maybe someone that is white?
Particularly with what?
Someone that is white in an interracial relationship that involves a white person. Could you be considered pro-black? I just would love that perspective.
The answer is of course. Of course.
Yeah, so this is the part I really want to focus on. Like the interviewer from Comedy Hype, he's saying for someone who dates like outside of his race, in this case, he's still married to Susan Wood, and he still be pro-black, like Black Lives Matter, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Can he still be with the struggle as well? Let's hear Christopher B. Duncan's response.
I'm a black man. Black folks and white folks have different experiences in this country. I'm very much aware of institutionalized racism. I'm in touch with it. I've experienced parts of this poison called systemic racism. It exists. We all know that. Thank goodness I have a wife who at least understands the ugly truths that are there, right? But I don't believe in limitations with love. When it comes to love, I don't care, irrespective of which race is falling in love with another race. Again, I just didn't grow up with blinders. I was never told by my parents, hey, white people they're fine, but just you can only trust them so far. What my parents instilled in me and my brothers is deal with people as individuals.
This is very, as I said, this is a topic where people don't want to discuss as much. And again, I'm going to talk more about this at the end as well, but this all comes down to experience as well. I've heard stories of like a black man dating an Indian woman or marrying an Indian woman, and that family disowning them straight. They said, we are not down for this. They will say love who you want to love, but they don't really mean that for them to go to the extent as well. So it is all dependent on the experience and like kind of which environment you are. Like sure, like in the West where I'm now in Toronto, Canada, is very much acceptable, but there's some areas like I said around the world that are very traditional. I've honestly had to experience that as well. Like maybe not directly, but I've heard it from people indirectly of like, yeah, sometimes it kind of upset the balance of the family in those traditional households. Let's continue.
Assess their character on their actions. Period. I don't see how one equals the other.
Right.
This brother's with a white woman. There's no way he's in touch with the plight of black folks in this country. Because he's, there's all kinds of ridiculous.
Yeah, some perceptions is like, as a black man with a white woman, some might think you're too intimidated by black women. Others might feel that you go with a white woman because they're easier. That's the perception.
Talk with the sisters that I've been with in my dating life and see what they have to say about that. See what they have to say. For anyone to draw that ridiculous conclusion They don't know me. They don't know my life
All
experiences.
right. So this again, I've made videos about this in the past as well. I did a video about this where Austin Dunham, big fitness influencer, he was talking about like where black women are only like fog magazine as well. And sometimes when you do see them, they're black, but they don't have a fog body, very well spoken, groomed very well, not too much. Not that tattoos matter, but they don't look like a fog. Most black women, that's not really, it's not the rapper, it's not Lil Wayne. Where most predominantly black women are attracted to that. So they most times they tend to get an audience from the white women. Like, oh yeah, I like you. Even if you're a fog or this, they're more acceptable to them. That's where in this about where some black guys who do step out, they go for an ulterior motive, like they're more submissive, less drama. Let me go to this. So yeah, very interesting.
It's absurd. It's bullshit.
Has that stuff you gotten in real life? Like, have you felt that energy of like people?
Sometimes I've been around. Here's what's interesting. Sometimes there've been some reactions from certain sisters who'll see us together, or certain white men.
Like what? She's too good?
If it's a certain energy from certain, I'm saying certain because I want to be clear. This is not across the board. Certain sisters might look over like, what's he doing with that white woman?
Right, so as you said, it was certain sisters. Because like Christopher B. Duncan, regardless of what you think, he was on the Unforgotten episode. He still had a great career. I remember in Johnson Found a Vacation, he had a great episode when he was in Martin, but he's what you call a catch. He's tall, he's a good looking guy, he speaks very well, he takes care of himself, he's a family man. There is a lot of sisters who will be looking for this guy. But what happens is, and I talked about this on videos before, I'll put the link, some of these sisters won't be checking out for them in the beginning. They'll be like, this guy's nerdy, he's corny, he speaks very well, stuff that even happened to me. And later on, when he does, in fact, get with a woman outside of his race, that's when they'll be envious, lots of Hispanic, they'll be jealous about it. So it's a very interesting dynamic that other man has to do with. Let's continue.
Certain white men. Why would she do that? Why would she be with him? I mean, this notion that a black man with a white woman has to be jungle fever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that same exact same look. I've had that. Past ex-relationships, I had that. Sisters who they just, even when you went to try to introduce yourself to them, and they just kind of like, and just looked, and you could just feel that body language that they weren't accepting of that as well. And I keep saying it really depends on the person, their perspective and how they present themselves. Of course, I'm wearing a boss shirt and I feel like a boss today.
Does that exist? I'm certain it does. Are there brothers out there who are with white women because to them it's some kind of status move or some kind of, hey, I'm the guy, see? I'm sure that garbage exists. Because if that's why a black man is with a white woman, that's garbage. I have no support or respect for that. That's not what my love for my wife is about, not even a little bit. Even if they're in tune with the world around them. This notion that some black men get with white women because it's a stature thing for them.
Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. I had to stop it there because, again, I really don't want to get any more copyrights on my channel as well. YouTube are keep as it is. I felt like that was a good point to start. But yeah, honestly, it's gonna be interesting to hear what y'all think about it. Christopher Baby Duncan, I 100% agree dating like different races for an agenda, but you can just see with his words and the way he's like, because again, very articulate, very well spoken individual. Reason like why he was able to go with his wife, who just, and it doesn't matter like what color, what skin color, what religion. It doesn't matter. Love who you want to love, but 100% there are, just like there's good and bad people, there will be groups of people who are there just as well. I'm only dating. I like black guys who are whoa. Do you understand? Because I saw this online or something. For sure, there's girls and nothing isn't tell, but yeah, I've had experiences like that as well. But again, where I can talk about this because like currently now my girlfriend's black, but like I said, I've been with Latin girls, I've been with African girls, Caribbean, Asian, all around, you name it. So for me, color, there is no prejudice for me when it comes to dating as well. Yes, that's my 2 cents on these videos. Just to sum it up again, like I did a recent hour stream on the Jamie Foxx Show. Definitely check that out. I talk more detail about the show, and I also mentioned a bit of this, so definitely check that out. I really love the Jamie Foxx Show. Definitely one of the, let's say maybe top 5, top 6 of the sitcoms in the 90s as well. So yeah, definitely check that out. And yes, let me know what you think of Christopher B. Duncan's career, him playing the title character Braxton, and definitely thanks for Comedy Hype for playing this much longer wait interview with the man of the hour, Christopher B. Duncan. So guys, yes, again, thanks for taking time to watch this video. Definitely like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on my social media with everybody saying Richie Rich. Yeah.